Hello, everybody. So, welcome to School of Vedic Astrology. I'm Joachim VH, the Rig Veda astrologer, and today we will cover Vishakha Nakshatra. So, as you see it right here, Vishakha Nakshatra is ruled by two demigods. It's the only nakshatra which is ruled by two demigods, and it's Indra and Agni at the same time. But first of all, we want to locate this nakshatra in the night sky. And this is actually in Libra. And we got the sun at the moment in the heart of this nakshatra. So it is represented by 4 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And their names are Alpha Librae, Zuben El Genubi, Beta Librae, Zuben El Hakrabi, Gamma Librae, and Iota Librae. They form the left half of the hanging scale shape of the constellation of Libra. The ancients saw this forming a forked branch and associated with the abode of the gods under the rulership of Indra, the king of the gods. Alpha Librae gives the ability to concentrate on goals and overcome obstacles. It is a social, clever, but unforgiving and revengeful nakshatra. So the Sanskrit root word is V, and it means in different directions, Shaka, branched region. Other ancient names is Radha and Radhika. So we will see that this nakshatra together with Anuradha forms one pair. So it's very social, these two nakshatras, and we will see this a little bit later. So the meaning is the forked one, two-branched, Radha, the delightful one. So this is very beautiful. Vishakha has a very beautiful side to it, obviously, because the gunas, sattva, the motivation is dharma. However, there is this rakshasa nature, hanging over the energy of this nakshatra, and people can become too orientated, and it can cause some problems in their social circles, also in their friends circles, and then they have the tendency to become outcasts. Yeah, so this is a little bit the downside of it. The yoni is male tiger, and the dosha is kapha. Yeah. So, before we dive into the meanings of Vishaka, I want to emphasize the deity, because through the deity we also uncover the secrets of the nakshatra. So we dive a little bit into the scriptures. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam is the Bhagavat Purana in the 8th canto. It said Bali Maharaj knew that Indra, king of heaven, was extremely powerful. So it's a powerful nakshatra, certainly more powerful than he. Nonetheless, Bali Maharaj challenged Indra by saying that Indra was not a very learned person. So the purification of Agni mostly comes because these people, they intend to be so goal orientated, they make mistakes. But then the thing is, they learn from their mistakes, and that's where the sattva and the dharma plays in. And there's actually a very spiritual side towards it, and we see that also in the life of Indra. He made mistakes, he made offenses towards Sri Krishna in the Krishna book. It's very powerful demigod. He's very famous for defeating Vritrasura. But then he challenged Sri Krishna. He was not convinced that this little cowherd boy, the beautiful dancer, was the supreme lord, and he challenged him, and he was defeated. So these people, they will challenge their authorities because they want to be the most successful in life. So they will challenge their bosses, and sometimes they will have to be defeated in order to take a more humble position. And through that humility, they actually rise further. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, at the very beginning of this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami reveals the foolishness of Indra and the absurdity of Indra. He was frustrated because the residents of Vrindavan accepted Sri Krishna as their Lord, that Sri Krishna is the Lord not only of the residents of Vrindavan, but of all of that exists, including Indra. So that's where the foolishness kicks in. Indra wanted to rebuke Krishna as Vachalam because the Lord had presented many audacious arguments in the line of Karma Mimamsa and Sankhya philosophy, even though he did not accept these arguments. Thus, Indra called him Stabda because he had spoken boldly, even in the presence of his own father. Thus, although Indra attempted to criticize Sri Krishna, the Lord's transcendental character is in fact impeccable, and this chapter will demonstrate how Indra came to recognize the position of the Lord. Now, here in the 6th canto, following this instruction from the demigods, King Indra fought Vritrasura. When Vritrasura was killed, everyone was satisfied, but King Indra, who knew Vritrasura's position, Vritrasura was like this high-level sage Asura, and Indra could understand that he was certainly entangled by sinful reactions for killing a Brahmana. During this time, Nahusa reigned over the heavenly planets as the representative of Indra. Indra later performed a great sacrifice with the help of exalted Brahmins and saints in order to purify the reactions of killing Vritrasura. And then when it comes to Agni, Agni is the mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is through Agni or fire that the Lord accepts all sacrificial oblations. So there is kind of this very purificationary concept around Vishaka natives, especially when they are humbled by learning from their mistakes. Because the drive is there. They want to learn from their mistakes, because even when they make mistakes, they still want to be on top or reach the goal that they set for themselves. So they will learn from their mistakes, and that's where the purification kicks in. The words Sukim, this is in the 4th canto, Sukim Iva are also significant, for the fire god Agni became attracted by the beauty of Satadruti. Agni's wife, named Svaha, took the form of Suki and enjoyed sex life with Agni. Not only the fire god Agni, but the heavenly god Indra, and sometimes even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Yeah. So, when you see these fire sacrifices, you see that every time when they throw rice in the fire, they say Svaha, Svaha. It's actually addressing the wife of Agni to invoke the blessings. Now, what the gods here are doing in their private time, I will leave that for them. However, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, out of fear of him, the sun moves, and Agni and Indra execute their duties. So the demigods, they are not the highest authorities. They come under the reign of Vishnu, Krishna, and all these exalted forms of this eternal Lord, which is the Supreme Being, which is known by many names. So when it comes to Agni, there's a story in the Mahabharata. The Pandavas requested Krishna at some point to build a city, and he did so by having Vishvakarma, the architect of the demigods, construct one that was extremely attractive. The Lord satisfied his beloved devotees by remaining with them there for some time. Then, to please Agni, the fire god, Krishna arranged to offer him the Kandava forest. The Lord asked Arjuna to burn down the forest and accompanied him as his charioteer. Agni was so satisfied with the offering that he presented Arjuna with the Gandiva bow, a team of horses, a chariot, two inexhaustible quivers and armor, etc. So over here, the famous Gandiva bow was actually granted by Agni when he was pleased. So this is a little bit of a background when it comes to finding the deities in scripture. So when it comes then to Vishaka itself, it truly displays this forked quality, having two main ruling deities, Indra and Agni. In the Puranas, Indra, the chief among the demigods, is often portrayed as a very goal-orientated, fixated, and offensive character who would go to any lengths to achieve his desired ends. The funny thing is that many times his desired ends are completely ungodly, and he gets into all sorts of trouble. This is a primary theme of Vishaka, pursuing unwholesome goals in questionable ways and creating bad karma as a result. Indra is also seen as a character that drowns himself in woman and wine and other enjoyments. This indulgent side of Indra also finds expression through Vishaka. Agni, the fire god, basically represents energy in one of its many forms. It is because of Agni that Vishaka has the capacity to exert Herculean efforts to attain its goal. Just like fire, when harnessed properly, can be used in many constructive ways, Vishaka's strong energy can manifest as courage, determination, and the capacity for hard work directed towards wholesome pursuits. Fire and its negative aspect can run amok and burn indiscriminately. In the same way, Vishaka can cause harm to others around it before finally getting consumed itself. Terms like burning grief, burning desire, and burning passion are all tailor made for Vishaka's expression. And then the symbol is the triumphal arc. And it's also, again, this is the goal, this is the end phase of a lot of games. You see Olympic Games, etc. There's also related to marriage ceremonies. So a triumphal arch covered with leaves and used in marriage ceremonies. The archway is a symbol of success and achievement and indicates moving through thresholds of spiritual initiation. A potter's wheel symbolizes the patience that must be developed in order to progress on the spiritual path. A tree with spreading branches giving protection to others, a white lotus. So the Sanskrit word shaka in Vishaka translates as the forked branch or division, and the word V translates as the opposite, distant, apart from. The connotation of shaka relates to the decision-making ability of the individuals, which is usually branched or forked. Hence, Vishaka refers to the one-pointedness, similar, an archer's devotion of goal and aim to hit the target. This reminds us Arjuna from the Indian epic of Mahabharata, who was considered to be the best archer known of his times. Vishaka, as per Indian mythology, was the mate of Sri Krishna's consort Radha. This can hint to the nascent nature of servitude, fixation, one-pointed devotion, decisive dedication that needs to be mastered by the Vishaka natives to achieve their goals of this lifetime. And next, I did some research on Vishaka, and she is the second most important of the 8 Varishta gopis. Her attributes, activities, and resolve are all much like those of her friend Lalita. Vishaka was born at the exact same moment as her dear friend Srimati Radharani appeared in this world. Vishaka's garments are decorated with stars, and her complexion is like lightning, being cream-colored with a tinge of red. Gaurangi, she is 14 years, 2 months, and 15 days in age. Her father is Pavana, the son of the sister of Mukkara Gopi, and her mother is Dakshina Devi, the daughter of the sister of Jatila. and so on. So there's a whole background about Vishaka, but there is indeed this service-orientated feeling once these natives master these impulses or of becoming too goal-orientated. Mhm. So, Vishaka brings alliances and support systems and exemplifies teamwork. Spiritual or religious principles make you feel good. So, and you may acquire spiritual initiation or academic knowledge from your teachers and elders. You may have an intuitive power and you achieve success. This is when you mostly have moon in Vishaka. You may have a tendency to make simple matters complex and vice versa, with a tendency to achieve objectives with resistance and confrontation. You are open to taking on challenges, and with your sheer determination, you will go to any lengths when you have decided upon something. Now, these natives have a strong desire and determination to be the most successful amongst their peers. This inherent trait can sometimes lead to native being seen as megalomaniac, demonstrating the power and the great force of the thunderbolt, a weapon of Indra, and can take the form of vanquishing an opponent or competitor in pursuit of personal success and glory. Yeah, so these people are very competitive. And also in relationships, by the way, if the seventh lord or malefics in Vishaka in the seventh house can suggest that the natives are usually concerned about their partnerships or relationships. They could be intense and passionate, and sometimes this cold bring volatility to the relationships. That's why it's not so favorable for marriage. However, if the native is spiritually advanced and the soul is evolved, then they intend to have balanced these energies. So 3 padas of Vishaka falls in the Libra, and the native usually find their balance between the material and the spiritual. So the 4th pada maybe is the pada of concern, because this is then Scorpio Navamsa, and yeah, if you have like a Venus-Mars conjunction there, then it becomes quite complicated. And when it becomes complicated, then we have remedies, and one of the remedies is worshipping Haridra Ganapati, and it's the 21st of Lord Ganesh 32 forms. In this form, the Lord is made of turmeric. Haridra Ganapati appears in bright golden hue complexion and also wears bright golden vestments with 4 hands. The Lord is seated post royal throne and appears with very calm face. On his main right hand holds his broken tusk, and on the main left hand holds his favorite sweet, modaka. And the upper left hand holds a noose, and the upper right hand holds an elephant goat. It is believed that the noose will hold the devotees close and the goat to move them forward. So this is a beautiful form of Lord Ganesh. Then there is also the Gayatri mantra when moon transits or when important primary planets transit over your Vishaka. Is definitely worth to make a little sacrifice. Chant some of these protective mantras just to invoke the blessings of these gods, so you can learn how to master the energies. So the Gayatri mantra: Om Indrakni Agatam Sutam Girbirnamo Varinam Aspatam Diyastita. And then the Vedic mantra: Om Indrakni Agwat Kwam Sutam Varenayam Ashapatam Giyo Sita Om Indrakni Bhyam Namaha. So it's worth to repeat them. You don't have to do it one time, but when moon or important planets transits over your natal positions, you can chant these mantras. And to finish, of course, the Rig Veda, we actually have a chapter where Indra and Agni are worshipped at the same time. So it's very interesting that these ancient seers have then also referred Indra and Agni as one deity uh, to this nakshatra. So, longing for weal, I looked around in spirit for kinsmen, Indra, Agni, or for brothers. No providence but yours alone is with me, so have I brought for you this hymn for succor. For I have heard that ye give wealth more freely than worthless son-in-law or spouse brother. So offering to you this draught of Soma, I make you this new hymn, Indra and Agni. Let us not break the cords. With this petition we strive to gain the powers of our forefathers. For Indra Agni the strong drops are joyful, for here in the bowl's lap are both the pressed stones. For you the bowl divine, Indra and Agni, presses the Soma gladly to delight you. With hands auspicious and fair arms, ye Ashvin's haste sprinkle it with sweetness in the waters. You, I have heard, were mightiest Indra Agni when Vitra fell and when the spoil was parted. Sit at this sacrifice, ye ever active, on the strewn grass, and with the juice delight you, surpassing all men where they shout for battle, ye twin, exceed the earth and heavens in greatness. Greater are ye than rivers, than the mountains, O Indra, Agni, and all things beside them. Bring wealth and give it, ye whose arms wield thunder, Indra and Agni, with your powers protect us. Now of the truth these be the very sunbeams wherewith our fathers were of old united. Give ye who scatter forts, whose hands wield thunder, Indra and Agni, save us in our battles. This prayer of ours may Varuna grant, and Mitra and Aditi and Sindhu, earth and heaven. So Indra actually he's also one of the 12 Adityas, and it is said also in the Rig Veda that she was starving at his birth. So she was offered to drink soma juice. So actually Indra he when he was in the womb, he was already living on the Soma juice. So he's very well known of loving Soma and enjoy with many ladies and dancers and music concerts. Yeah, so we have to balance these energies, obviously, and not go too much in Indra's direction unless we are really up to learning from our mistakes. This is the key lesson with Vishaka, because mistakes will be there, because you will be so fixated to the goal. Mistakes will be made, and that's where Agni purifies the energy of this nakshatra, and that's why the ancient seers gave Indra and Agni at the same time. It's the only nakshatra with two deities, so it's quite interesting if you dive a little bit deeper in it. So that was it for me, for Vishaka. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channels. I will try to upload more regularly. Also on the daily transits, Jupiter is going direct this month, so I might just do a video on that in the upcoming days.